What up, world? Welcome to the episode of I Bleed Sports. Yeah, as you know, I'm the host, BrandonJaneau, and like always, on all podcast platforms everywhere. BrandonJaneauShow, man. Go subscribe, comment, like the. You can review it even on all podcast platforms. You could rate the show. It's on all podcast platforms everywhere. Um, Shout out to Black Podcast Directory um, for having me on there. So go on that website and you will find everywhere my podcast is. I mean, I was on there today. I'm like, damn, I didn't even know I was on these motherfuckers. I say that. I'm like, I didn't even know I was on these motherfuckers. I'm like, ah, damn. But shout out to Black Podcast Directory. I am on when I say I'm on some podcast platforms, I mean I'm on some podcast platforms. You know what I mean? So go listen to the show on all podcast platforms. Social media, man. Instagram, Threads, Real, REAL, Brandon Janeau Show. That's Real Brandon Janeau Show on Instagram and Threads, Facebook, The Brandon Janeau Show, and TikTok, Brandon Janeau Show. Follow me on all those social media platforms. I would appreciate it if you did. And also X, formerly known as Twitter. B Janeau. B Janeau, man. So go follow me on there as well. Really, where you go is the YouTube channel, man. Brandon Janeau Show YouTube channel. Go subscribe, comment, like the vids, like the shorts. I got a new shout out right now. YouTube be tripping. I want to just say this. YouTube, y'all are tripping. Like, bro, what the fuck is up with these like these restrictions? Like, what's going on with these restrictions? Like, I'm not understanding this. Like, bro, there's so many goddamn 18 and 18, restrictions. It's like, what the fuck? You gotta be age 18. It's like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, what? I don't make that kind. What the? Anyway, yeah, that pissed me off today. I'm like, bro, really? That's a restriction? Like, I guess, dude. Anyway, go follow me on YouTube. I'm sorry, I had to crash out on that one. That shit pissed me off because they do it every damn day now. It's like, bro, really? Anyway, Brand new show YouTube channel. Go subscribe, comment, like the vids, like the shorts. Helps in the algorithm if you do. I'm right there. I'm very close to almost 250 with the podcast, with the YouTube channel, I should say. Really close to the YouTube channel, man. So go subscribe, like, share. You can do it all on the YouTube channel, Brand New Show. I know it's Thursday. I know it's Thursday, but no time is better than now because this is I Bleed Sports. Okay, I bleed sports, man. A lot going on. Baseball has started up today. It started yesterday, but today is the full slate of baseball. This is the earliest baseball has ever fucking started in my life. I mean, I'm 32. This might be the earliest start to a season I've had in a very long time. That is insane. But yeah, 30. Yeah, man, this is insane. But baseball started this freaking early. I'm like, damn, baseball started early. Um, but yeah. So I'll talk about that a little bit. Yeah. Uh, Basketball Sweet 16 is tonight. Men's. So by the time this episode comes out, the Sweet 16 will already have happened. So yeah, talk about that. Talk about some NBA going on to the NBA, and of course, I will be doing. Um, and of course, that I will be doing. What should they do? Which is the Giants today. I actually wrote the Browns, but it's the Giants. So I'll talk about the Giants and what should they do. New man in charge with John Harbaugh. Jackson Dart's second year. Is this a make or break year already for Jackson Dart? Sounds insane, but listen to the NFL Network. You might need to start asking that question. And can the Giants get back to dominance in the NFC East? Is the NFC East weak enough for the Giants to take control? I'll talk about all that today. And what should they do with the number 5 overall pick? I already did it with my brother Juan, who I think they should take. So go watch us on Facebook. We got a couple of episodes out right now with the draft there. So, and we got one tonight. So tune in for that. Um, I'll talk about that before I get off here tonight. I just gotta remind myself. Anyway, but let's get it going, man. So let's start off with this boxing. So Saturday night, it is a fight. It is a fight. Keith Thurman versus Sebastian. I forgot his. I don't want to say his last name. Fedora. Sebastian Fedona. I done fucked that man up so many times. I'm sorry, man. They fight over the welterweight title. Um, yeah. Uh, this fight was supposed to happen uh the before Sebastian fought Tim Tszyu in that rematch. So this was actually supposed to be a fight that night. Uh, when Sebastian fought Tim Tszyu for the second time. Um, Keith Thurman, something happened where Keith Thurman had something happen and Tim got the fight instead. So that's what happened. But Keith Thurman and Sebastian are going to fight this Saturday. Um, Sebastian is what 6'10", 6'7", 6'8". The shit is insane. The man is fucking. This fucking man is tall as shit as a welterweight. That is just insane. I don't understand that at all. I don't know how that fucking science worked, but okay. Man's damn near 6'10", and it's just insane. It's wild. It's wild. But he is fighting Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman looks to regain his place in the welterweight division. Um, do I think Keith can beat Sebastian? Is really the case. Do I think he can beat him? Mm, man, oh man, oh man. Mm, I don't think he can. I don't think he can. Keith is a hell of a boxer. Don't get it twisted. Keith Thurman is one hell of a boxer. Don't get it twisted. But I feel like at this point in his career, with the height of Sebastian and the because to beat a boxer that tall, that fucking tall, with that length, that ability, the game on tall fighters, game inside on them because they can't use the reach. So the better you get inside and work the body and make them, as they can reach, they have a different. I'm sorry, Wi-Fi is tripping. I'm so sorry. Um, what I was talking about was Keith Thurman and Sebastian. Uh, yeah, the best boxing fans know to beat a tall fighter like Sebastian with his height is to get inside. That's the best way to control the fight is to get inside. I don't know if Keith can do that. I don't know if Keith can do that. I don't know if he can get inside and work Sebastian because that's the only way you can even beat a tall fighter. They're too damn lengthy. They're too damn, they got the arm reach, they got the length that can, but they got such a tall ass torso that getting inside and hitting them with the body shots, that's the only way you can physically win a fight like that. Can Keith do that? Can Keith do that to get inside on Sebastian and fight him like that? We will see Saturday. And that's the one thing that only Keith Thurman can physically show us, is if he's in that ability to get inside on Sebastian. Because if not, Fedora's going to pretty much do what the fuck he's been doing, which is control the fight body outside, keeping the arm length. The reach of his is too goddamn away, too damn wide. You can't stay in front of him. You have to get inside. And I think when I saw him and Tim Tszyu fight, the last fight, sometimes when Tim was fighting him, when he kind of could get inside, he was kind of making Sebastian actually have to do more. So the best thing is, and like I said, all boxing fans know, the best way to beat a tall fighter is to get inside. To get inside to where their reach is not the deciding factor. Will he be able to do that is where this conversation kicks in. We shall see. And Saturday, we shall see. Baseball. I just found out my Cubs lost today, so not happy about that, but it is what it is. Baseball is back. Yesterday was the opener. I think it was Yankees versus Giants, San Francisco Giants. Yankees won. It's 7-0. Great for them. Happy for them. Um, Immediately after the game happened, um, Aaron Judge did not have a great start to his season. I mean, I think he struck out like 4 times, I think they said. 4 times Aaron Judge struck out. Listen, I have said this numerous times. I don't think Aaron Judge is what people think. I think because he plays in New York, I think people give him too much praise. I'm going off of the years. This is the same man that was just on Team USA and couldn't do shit to win the World Cup. So it's just like, this is why I keep saying the way people talk about Aaron Judge is what I believe. And what I believe is Aaron Judge is more of a, how can I say this? Aaron Judge is more of a, how can I say this? Aaron Judge is more of a regular season player than a postseason player. And that's been a knock on like Alex Rodriguez. There's been a knock on a lot of the big name guys over the years that they can perform in the regular season, but when it gets to the postseason, they freeze the. Sorry. Sorry. But Aaron Judge had this knock on his the guy. And been too many positions, too many times where he's supposed to be the guy and be the one to make the Yankees back to world champions, and he's never fucking done it. And it makes me question, what is Aaron Judge really? And like I've said, I think he's a great regular season player. I think he will win a lot of MVPs. I think he's going to always have those moments. But last year, he should have never won the MVP. I will never understand how you sat there and gave him the MVP over the Seattle catcher. I will never understand that shit. I don't understand that. Like, this man had one of the most amazing fucking years as a catcher since Buster Posey in his rookie fucking year. And yet you sat there and said, but he's not the guy. Aaron Judge, because he had some batting ratio. It's like, bro, Aaron Judge has done this shit too many fucking times to show people. Like, bro, even when you had Ohtani in the AL, it was like, bro, Shohei Ohtani was obviously the better fucking boxer. Shohei Ohtani was easily the best fucking. Shohei Ohtani was easily the best baseball player. Easily, Shohei Ohtani was the best baseball player. And it wasn't even that fucking hard to see. It was like, bro, Shohei Ohtani is easily the best baseball player. And this is why I've said when I remember with Shohei Ohtani, when people were talking about this, Shohei Ohtani is obviously the best baseball player in fucking baseball. And then yet people will still sit there and tell everybody Aaron Judge is that. I'm like, no. I'm sorry to go on this rant about Aaron Judge, but I feel like a lot of people in media yesterday got a quick, obvious wow. Like, maybe Aaron Judge isn't that guy. No shit. Game is on. It's the first game of the season for you. All you have to do is just do what you're supposed to do. Big stage, Netflix, and you don't even show the fuck up. And this is why I continuously say we got to stop this Aaron Judge is the best player in baseball shit, because he's not. When it's the big moments, he freezes the fuck up. And that's just facts. How many times we've seen this in the playoffs? How many times we've now seen this now in the World Cup? How many times have we seen it? He doesn't know how to do what the fuck he needs to do to be that guy. And that is why I've always said, no matter what the fuck people believe, Aaron Judge will never be the face of baseball like they swear to God he is. Man, oh man, oh man. This season of baseball is going to be an interesting one. This season of baseball is going to be a very interesting one. And I don't know what's going to happen. But I do know this. Yes, we lost today, but it's 162 games. My Cubs have a chance to be something very, very, very special this year. Like I was telling my brother Juan yesterday, if the Cubs can just, and I mean just, get to the NLCS this year, and if we can just get to the NLCS this year, man, oh man, oh man, it would be great. Now, if we get to the World Series, that's even better. You get to the World Series, that's even better. I'm not against that at all. I'm not opposing that at all. Who comes out the AL? I think the AL is the most interesting one. I think that's the most interesting conference, most interesting league, because I have no idea who the hell comes out the AL. I have no idea. It could be Baltimore. It could be Boston. It could be the Yankees. It could be Toronto again. It could be, it could be a lot of teams in the AL. The AL is such a weird. It could be Seattle this year. I mean, it could be Houston. Houston had a really slow, methodical pace last year, and then it kind of got going late to the point where they had to catch the fuck up to Seattle. Could be Houston. Who knows? But the AL is the most interesting one. The conversation in baseball is obviously, can anyone stop the Dodgers? And that's really what the conversation is kicking in. Will anyone stop the Dodgers this year? And my play on that is the Dodgers have paid every single person you could think of. Every single thing you can think of, they have paid it. The one knock on the Dodgers last year was the bullpen. And if you actually watched the World Series, you saw them decide to basically not go with the bullpen at the end of that series against the Blue Jays, because they knew that bullpen sucks. It's not fucking good. They don't have a closer. They didn't have even a really healthy rotation. And this is what, when you pay so many fucking players to just handle certain shit, then you run into this problem where your bullpen, the one thing supposed to shut the door, you don't have anything. And so that is why I feel like this situation is going to be interesting. Do I think the Dodgers can get back to the NL? Do I think the Dodgers get back to the World Series? Yes, I think the Dodgers can definitely get back to the World Series. The question is, do they have any challengers in the NL? And like I said, my Cubs. I think my Cubs, despite what happened today, my Cubs. Um, the Brewers are always there. They're always a weird team. Um, the Mets look good today. I mean, man, Paul Skis. I mean, I'm not asking you to get asked to get traded from the Pittsburgh Pirates, but fucking a dude. This man has been one of the best pitchers since his fucking rookie year, and he can't he can't he can't get a fucking defense, bro. Like the fuck, bro. Like God Almighty, yeah, man. The Mets look like a good team this year. There's certain teams that look good in the NL, but we got to just see how this plays out. Because the Dodgers get back to the World Series, yeah, will they? We shall see. We shall see. Basketball, basketball. Um, Congratulations to the women of the WNBA. They have officially, um, they have officially garnered a new uh bargaining deal with the WNBA, raising their money up from cap. The max player will now officially get $1 million. If you sign a super max, you will get $1 million. Hopefully that grows in prices. Hopefully the next couple of years that shit raises up, because those women deserve way more. You can't tell me Asia Wilson is worth $1 million. Like no, Asia Wilson is worth way more than $1 million. You can't tell me that Collier is worth 1.2 million. Collier is worth 1.2 million to the Lynx? Are you fucking kidding me? That's that's at least a good 10. The way that woman plays, like that's at least a good 10. Brianna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu. Come on, bro. Like Caitlin Clark, right? Like even the Fever, if you're looking at Caitlin Clark, like Caitlin Clark is worth a good 10, 10, 15. So hopefully the money raises up for the women. You got also new teams coming into the league this year. I think the Toronto team, the Portland team. I think last year they welcomed Sacramento. They're expanding, and that's beautiful. And I'm happy for those women. They deserve the money that they have earned. Fuck, have worked for. They have earned that money. The way the league has been covered the last couple of years, um, pre Caitlin Clark and now post Caitlin Clark, the league has been covered. Um, the way we talk about it a little bit more frequently, it's beautiful and it's great. And like I said, those women have earned this position. They have earned the right to sit there and tell everybody, I am worth $1 million, more than just $1,000. Like I go out here and bust my ass every week for a good stretch of time. And with now new teams coming in, expanding the league, I hope that they expand it even more. They had a San Antonio team and then they got rid of it. They had, a Houston team back in the day, Houston Comets. Hopefully they come back to Houston and do the team here. Bring back San Antonio Stars in San Antonio. There's so many markets you can hit that I think the women WNBA will be great in. Memphis, I think Memphis, Tennessee. I think Memphis would look great with a team. So you got to realize also Seattle for a good stretch of time hasn't had a basketball team, and the Seattle Storm have been their only basketball team. Now that's about to change, and I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. Um, but that's about to change. But for a good stretch of time, if you think about basketball in the Pacific, particularly Seattle, the Seattle Storm has been the only fucking basketball team professionally in Seattle. Um, and outside of the Seattle Seahawks, for a good decade plus until they just got a hockey team. They were the only two, teams, they were the only two, professional teams in sports. So Yeah, man, those women have earned the right to get money, get paid what the fuck they have worked. What they are worth is those that money raising the fuck up. Because if we're putting ourselves on the line, we're doing this shit to make this, you know, league the standout league now. And ESPN is hitting y'all up, and we getting deals on TNT for the unrivaled league. We can find a way to come to terms with money compensation here. And I think that is a beautiful thing. So shout out to those women in the WNBA. They deserve, not only deserve, they've earned the right to get paid what they are worth. And I hope that money actually even more so increases in the next couple of years. Go support the WNBA. I don't have a WNBA team here in Houston, so go support them, man. If you're in Dallas, go support the Wings. If you're in Seattle, support the Storm. You know if you're in these markets that have the WNBA, go support them, man. Vegas with the Aces, New York with the Liberty, go support them. Toronto's about to get a team now. Portland's getting a team. Support the WNBA. Go rock with these women, man. They are killing it. Phoenix Mercury, if you're in Phoenix, go watch the Phoenix Mercury. Go fuck with the WNBA, man. Chicago Sky, go fuck with the WNBA. Support those women, 100%. Because they deserve way more than just $1 million for a supermax. That's ridiculous. These women out here are fucking superstars, and they getting paid $1 million for supermax when they get paid that shit for Instagram followers. Like, come on, bro. Like that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. College basketball. Speaking of the women, NCAA tournament, man, Sweet 16 for the women start tomorrow. I think they start tomorrow. The men are tonight. The men kick off the NCAA Sweet 16 tonight. You got a couple of games tonight. This weekend, by the end of this weekend, we will know who is going to be in the Final Four. Last weekend was great, man. I know a lot of people were sitting there talking about blowouts and all this other goofy shit, but for the most part, we're talking about the round of 32. Those were some of the competitive battles that we have been asking for. Duke was put through a problem early in that game and that situation. Um, you had a lot of games go down to buzzer beaters. I mean, Florida is now the first one seed eliminated. That's an interesting thing. You had some teams that even we didn't even think would even make it to the round of make it to the round of 32, even the Sweet 16. You got 3-1 still alive. Michigan, Arizona, and Duke. So those are the three ones that are still alive, and we shall see by the end of this weekend if they make it to the Final Four. Like I said, Florida is officially eliminated, and that is the southern region. So you have Iowa, Nebraska, which is an interesting fucking game. If you would have told me that Iowa and Nebraska would be playing for a spot in the Elite Eight and possibly the Final Four this year, nobody would have fucking guessed that shit. Everybody be like, get the, we talking about football? Like, we talking football? Yeah, maybe Iowa got some luck in the Big Ten, and maybe Nebraska figured some shit out in the Big 12, and they like we would even think this shit fully through. We'd be like, yeah, maybe this and that and that. We wouldn't even think that shit through. We would be like, man, get the fuck out of here. These basketball, bro, you really like it's a game that's gonna actually happen in a Sweet 16. Iowa's playing Nebraska in a Sweet 16. That shit sounds wild. That shit sounds absolutely fucking wild. It does sound crazy. It sounds absolutely fucking wild, insane. But it's happening. It's fucking happening. Um, you got some coaches, some legendary coaches, still in the tournament. Tom Izzo from Michigan State. You got Rick Pitino in St. John's. You got some legendary coaches. You got John Calipari with the Arkansas Razorbacks. We got some legendary coaches still in the tournament. I mean, this shit is gonna get interesting. You got Dan Harley, who's won, the last couple of national championships. I mean, let's be real, with the UConn Huskies. He's still in the tournament. This is gonna get interesting, and I think that this is why this Sweet 16 is very fucking interesting. This isn't this is obviously what's going to happen. I don't know. And I'm happy to say I don't know. I am very proud. Like I've said numerous times, I think Arizona is going to get to I've said this. I think Arizona is going to the national championship. I felt like Arizona was going to be the one seed that lasted the longest. I felt like Arizona just, I don't know, Arizona just feels like the team. I know a lot of people's high on Michigan. I love Michigan. High on Michigan. Where the one thing about Michigan is they run into the team that can do what significantly they're not good at. They're going to get beat. I don't know if it's going to happen this week. I think the one team that could beat Michigan is Duke. And I don't think Duke is going to actually make it to the Sweet 16. I don't think they're getting out the Sweet 16 because I think St. John's is going to be Duke. I think Rick Pitino is going to outcoach the Duke head coach. If this was Coach K and Rick Pitino, okay, there's a different conversation. I don't know Duke's Joe. I don't know his last name. I'm not gonna say his last name like that because I don't want to fuck his last name up. But Rick Pitino has shown us over 30, 40 fucking years now. You put him in a school, he's gonna figure it out. He did it a long time ago at St. John's. He's done it at Louisville. He's doing it now again at St. John's. He has shown you. He did it at Providence. He has shown you that he can fucking coach. He might not can coach in the NBA, but he can coach in college. We see the coaches, and Nick Saban couldn't coach in the NFL, but he can coach in college, and he can win like a motherfucker in college. St. John's being in the position that they're in, and I know a lot of people is now on the St. John's bandwagon, but I'm looking at this situation and saying to myself, man, I don't. What you saw in that Duke game against TCU should be very fucking alarming to Duke because TCU has none of the shit that St. John's has. St. John's has interchangeable players that can guard the perimeter, that can actually hit shots. They have a big man that can kind of control the paint. They have a lot of shit. And then, of course, again, they have a coach like Rick Pitino who's pretty much going to get them in the right positions. So I'm looking at this from that perspective and saying to myself, oh, dude, like you are putting yourself in an unfavorable position. And I don't know if Duke can handle this shit. Like I said, if you saw that game against TCU, the Boozer brothers did not get off to a great game. And it kind of struggled a little bit trying to find out what the fuck they were. It took a minute for them to kind of pull away from TCU. If they have that same game, I don't know if they play tonight or play tomorrow, but they have that same game against St. John's, it's not going to end well. St. John's could jump on you so quick. They could jump on you so goddamn fast, and then you're now just behind the eight ball all night. And that's something that you don't want to do, especially with a Duke team that's very young, that has shown you they have their moments where lack of judgment in certain games. Their lapse of judgment can kind of hurt them. TCU might not have been able to make Duke's turnovers hurt them as much. That shit ain't gonna happen with St. John's. They're going to hurt you. You cannot turn over the ball like you turned over the ball in that first half, and a little bit even in the second half against TCU. You're going to get destroyed with St. John's. That cannot happen. Can Duke beat St. John's? Of course they can fucking beat St. John's. They're the number one overall seed for a reason. But there is a reason for why this Duke team has been. I can't get rid with this Duke team because it feels like this is the same Duke teams when they had the top recruits. The difference was Coach K can coach it a little bit more. He coached it better. And in these situations, we saw it last year with Duke, where people forget Duke had a great team last year. They got to the tournament last year. They had Cooper Flag last year, and they couldn't fucking win because they ran into a Houston team that was a little bit more of a veteran, defensive savvy fucking team. And they did not let Cooper Flag get the fuck off. Yeah, they got to the Elite Eight. I know they get to the Final Four. I think they got to the Final Four. But when they played Houston, you saw Houston get on them immediately. And it feels like that's exactly what this game is. It feels like that's exactly what St. John's is going to do to Duke in this game. Not saying Duke can't win. When this comes out, the game probably has already happened or will happen tomorrow. So we will all see together. We will all see that together. But at the end of the day, if you ask me right now, I think St. John's will beat Duke. Do I think Arkansas can beat Arizona? And I know a lot of people think Arkansas is going to just beat Arizona. That's the one game where I'm very cautious on. Because it's not that I don't think Arkansas can beat Arizona. I think Arizona isn't particularly given enough respect in saying that they can beat. I don't think Arizona's getting too much respect. And I think when you don't get too much respect and everybody's like, oh, Arkansas is going to easily whoop your ass. What? Arkansas is going to easily whoop your ass. What? I love John Calipari, but there's a reason for why he's only really won one national championship. Do you not know that? Like he's only won one national championship, and it took literally having literally 5-star. It literally took Anthony fucking Davis, who was blocking out the fucking sun that whole year for him to win a national championship. This man had John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins. This man's had what? This man's had John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins. This man's had teams where he's had Carl Anthony Towns, Carl Anthony Towns. Who else? Carl Anthony Towns, Devin Booker. Like he's had teams with fucking superstars. I'm talking about fucking icons right now in basketball in the NBA, doing their fucking job, killing the shit. He's had those players, and he's only won one national championship. So when I hear people say Arkansas can win this because they got a great guard, yes, the guard is awesome. He probably will go top 5 if he decides to leave and go into the NBA draft. He will easily go top 5. Where the problem kicks in is I keep hearing about the guard. What else the fuck does Arkansas have? Can anybody explain to me what else do they have? Because all I keep hearing is about this guard. This guard. Yes, the guard is amazing. He can play his ass off. He's a beast. But what else? Arizona has enough to stop him or even let him get off, but stop everybody else. And that is where the fuck the problem lies. I'm not saying Arizona is the best team in left standing in college tournament. Fuck no. But I feel like a lot of people are trying to sit here and say, oh, Arizona's the most beatable one now, left standing. I'm sorry, what? Arizona, who damn near was number one for a good stretch of time. It was like them, Michigan, and Duke. It was like those just were rotating the ones. So so when I sit here and think, and I hear people sit there and say, "Oh yeah, like Arizona's gonna easily lose to Arkansas," huh? What? Yeah, I don't understand that. I don't understand that at all. I don't understand that at all. I'm looking forward to UConn and Michigan State. That's gonna be a good fucking game. Um, that is gonna be a hell of a game. I don't know who wins. I think UConn has a better team, but Michigan State has the better player. So, in this same thing with Arkansas, right? Arkansas has the better player, but Arizona has the better team. Do you think the player can outplay the team? What I also feel like with Arkansas and Arizona is, like I said, John Calipari is great. We keep giving John Calipari like this great ass, like he's won multiple national championships. Like he's won one. One. All those great recruiting classes that he's had in Kentucky, he won one. All those great recruiting classes he had with Memphis back in the day, Derrick Rose, all those players, he won one. This is why I keep saying people that's sitting here and continuously saying this shit. It's like I get that you love John Calipari, but he's only won one national championship. Pump the fucking brakes on this. He's going to win against Arizona. We don't know what the fuck's going to happen when he plays Arizona. We have no clue what's going to happen. I trust Arizona, then I trust Arkansas. I've seen Arkansas have games where they have had the player go off and still the team itself just didn't do shit. I've seen it in tournaments. I've seen, John Wall have a great game or Boogie have a great game, but somebody else just didn't get going. And it's just like, what the fuck? I've seen Tyreek Evans had a great game, but nobody else stepped the fuck up in Memphis. It's like, what the fuck are we doing? I've seen Derrick Rose have great games and nobody stepped up. Like, I've seen it. So when I hear people continuously say, and there's a reason why it was great for Anthony Davis, because Anthony Davis was a force. He was a center. He was the blocker. He was the defense. He was the rim protector. He was everything. It wasn't the same. Whereas for this, it feels like people are just like, he has a great guard. He's going to win the national championship. It's like, what the fuck does that mean? And listen, and we praise guards, especially in college basketball. Guard play is extremely amiss. It is the most important thing in college basketball play because you need a guy on the court that is not afraid of the moment. Particularly, one great example is Kemba Walker back in the day with UConn. He wasn't afraid of the moment. He took that shit on like a champ. But I feel like a lot of y'all are thinking this is the same energy. And it's like teams are preparing themselves for this Arkansas team because they know how great their guard is. So I'm looking at this from that perspective and saying to myself, man, I don't think it's the same energy that y'all think. And as good as Arkansas is, we shall see what happens. So, yeah, but I would say the Sweet 16 is going to be great. This is going to be an awesome Sweet 16. The women is going to be intriguing, too. I think the Sweet 16 with the women are going to be intriguing. I think everybody knows UConn is the team to beat. Obviously, UConn is the team to beat. Obviously, anytime you got South Carolina in the, South Carolina women in the tournament as well, that's obviously a team to beat. UCLA is killing it. I am afraid to see my LSU Tigers go up against UCLA. UCLA gives LSU so many fucking problems. They give them so many fucking problems because they don't have the physical. They don't have the they don't have the physical uh strength to stop UCLA, and I think that's why I'm not looking forward to seeing UCLA versus LSU. I love LSU to death, but I'm just not a huge fan of it. I'm just not a huge fan of that game. I don't want to see it. I hate it. I don't want to see it. But if they get to the Elite Eight, that's exactly who the hell they have to play. Is UConn the real? Is UConn the team to beat? And I think a lot of people that would sit there and say, "Well, yeah, obviously UConn is the team to beat in the women's." I said South Carolina. I think South Carolina is still the team to beat. I know people don't think it is, but I think South Carolina is the team to beat. Will they lose? I just don't see South Carolina losing. And I like UConn. I just don't see them losing to UConn. And it sounds crazy. I know it does. But I just think South Carolina's just too fucking good. They still got something. And yeah. I hope Notre Dame gets there. I really do. I hope Notre Dame, Fighting Irish women, get to at least the Final Four. Um, I hope they get there. I really, really do. Will they? That's where the conversation gets interesting. I have no idea. Um, but yeah. But this Sweet 16 for the women, I am looking forward to this. This shit is gonna be good. Duke plays, I think LSU. UConn plays North Carolina. Notre Dame plays. I forgot who Notre Dame plays. I gotta look at who Notre Dame plays. Um, but yeah, man, this Sweet 16 for the women and the men are going to be two of the most watchable Sweet 16s that we've had in a very long fucking time. The name value, the teams, the coaches. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Staying in basketball. Staying in basketball. So Seattle and Vegas are officially approved. They will be getting an NBA team. I talked about this a couple weeks ago. I am looking forward to this. I think it's great. I don't want them to move teams out of markets, though. I don't think that's a good idea. I think you should do what the women are doing, which is just creating a team in a market and then doing a expansion draft. The one thing about these teams in the NBA nowadays is that you got so many players that are not being used. You got G League players, you got all these different players that are not being used, and you can push them, put them into a veteran. Think of a veteran that might not be as used as they used to be. Think of a veteran, um, you know, Think of teams that might also have salary cap situations where they want to get some of these players off their fucking salary cap. You look at maybe a Milwaukee with Miles Turner. Maybe they put Miles Turner up for the expansion draft. Now you got a center of Seattle Seahawks, Seattle Supersonics, or Las Vegas, whatever the hell they're gonna call themselves. Like the Las Vegas, whatever the hell they're gonna call themselves. I know Seattle's calling themselves the Supersonics. That's just obvious. Seattle Supersonics are coming back. I cannot wait for this shit. It's going down. Can they get the old jerseys? That's all I ask. I don't want the jersey they left with. I need the old Supersonic jerseys. I need the motherfuckers that Gary Payton and Sean Kemp and Vin Baker were wearing. I need those jerseys because I need that jersey back in the day to be the new era jerseys. You know what I mean? Like I need that. But we all know Seattle Supersonics are gonna be back. Um, I don't know what the hell they're gonna call themselves in Vegas. I have not a clue. They're gonna come up with something. You got the Golden Knights, you got the Aces. I don't know what the hell they're gonna call themselves. They're gonna call themselves something. But I'm looking forward to what they're gonna do with that. 32 teams now are gonna be in the NBA. That is great. That is awesome. About fucking time. About fucking time. We needed it. We finally forced them. We're getting a team in Seattle, back in Seattle, and we're getting a team in Vegas, which makes fucking sense because Las Vegas is the only goddamn city that the NBA use that they can desperately fucking use a team in. So it makes sense. And like I've been saying, Vegas is starting to become the hub of, national professional sports. It's always been there for boxing. It's always been there for the UFC, and now it feels like it's the hub for professional sports. You got hockey, you got the WNBA, you got football. You're about to get baseball with the Las Vegas Athletics. Um, in I think like 2 years. It's crazy to think that shit is in 2 years. Maybe next year, next year, 2028, something like that. I think next year. I think next year. Um, but they're supposed to get the Las Vegas Athletics. Of course, the Oakland Athletics now, the Las Vegas Athletics. Got the Raiders, of course, obviously, and now you're about to get an NBA team. That's all that you can ask for. Like that is insane. Vegas has got more fucking sports teams than most cities. Memphis, Tennessee has no baseball team. They have no hockey team. They have no baseball team, no hockey team, no WNBA team. All they got is basketball. I guess you could say Nashville because the Tennessee Titans, but shit, man, like they don't even have that. I got almighty, dude. Tennessee got two. That's it, like two. Holy shit, yeah, man. It's New Orleans only got like two. It's insane. I mean, we got our baseball team, but it's a AAA team. New Orleans Zaps. We still got them. Uh, but yeah. Um, but yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. Uh, but I'm happy for basketball, man. They deserved it. They needed it. They needed to do that, and I'm happy that they're getting it. So yeah. NBA, literally not NBA. So the Lakers. Lakers were streaking these last couple of weeks. They won 9 straight games until they lost to the Detroit Pistons. And of course, everybody immediately jumped out the window like they always do when the Lakers or the Yankees or the Dallas Cowboys, one of these big market teams get to winning big games and they start talking about they're going to win a championship. It's like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? Congratulations to the Lakers for having a winning streak. I'm proud of them for having a winning streak. But I feel like a lot of people in the media would never tell you what it is. So I went and looked at the Lakers, who they beat in those 9 games, because I'm petty like that. I don't. I'm petty like that. I'm petty like that. So I went to go. I went to go look at the schedule that they had, and yeah, not really teams that I'm like, okay, I can see how you would win those games. In that 9 game winning streak, they beat the Knicks, the Rockets twice, the Timberwolves, and the Nuggets. Cool. They beat the Heat, the Magic, the Pacers, and I think the Bulls. Those were the 9 games. Rockets twice. That's 2. They beat the Nuggets. That's 3. They beat the Timberwolves. That's 4. They beat the Knicks. That's 5. They beat Orlando, Miami. That's 7. And then they beat the Pacers and Bulls. The Pacers and the Bulls. That was the 9 game win streak. The Pacers have obviously the Pacers obviously suck this year. They're not a good team. How could they be with Tyrese Halliburton, who literally was their most effective player last year, being out for most of the fucking season? He is basically going to sit out this year. He's not going to pull like a Jason Tatum and come back. He literally got injured in the NBA Finals, game fucking 7. So he will be back next year. But I feel like a lot of people sit here and try to. The Pacers are just not a good team. They're basically going to be in the lottery. The Magic and the Heat are both playing right now for play-in. The Bulls too. So you got 3 teams that are literally playing for the play-in. None of them are actually physically in the playoffs. They're playing to get into the play-in and to keep their spot in the play-in. I know a lot of people sit there and say, "Well, the Magic just went on a long winning streak," and they still are playing to get in the play-in. It's not like they got a secure lock on the playoffs. Outside of the Knicks, who are also 100% secure, the Knicks, who I think is like third right now in the East, the Knicks, the Timberwolves, who are also right now after last night are going to probably be like maybe either the 5th seed or 4th seed in the Western Conference. 5th seed or 4th seed in the Western Conference. Um, the Rockets, who are the 6th seed right now in the Western Conference. The Nuggets, who are the 4th seed right now in the Western Conference. But when you look at this situation and you say to yourself about this Western Conference and the Lakers, particularly on this 9 game winning streak, I think people want to give the Lakers so much praise. And I just told you how many teams they actually beat in this winning streak. Most of these teams outside of the Knicks, the Timberwolves, the Nuggets, and the Rockets. Those are 4 teams that are actually physically in the playoffs. And they played the Rockets twice. Without a Shangoon, who is their best rim protector, fuck no, offensive rebounder, and a man that drops at least double digit stats every game. Literally has 20 and 10 every game. Now defensively he sucks, but defensively he sucks. But yeah. So when I hear people try to sit here and tell everybody, "Oh, the Lakers, they're gonna win a championship this year," I want people to understand regular season basketball is completely different than post-season basketball. Why the fuck is that so hard to understand? It's like people just have this hard on. They just always sit here and tell you, "Well, the Lakers are going to win the championship." Do you not understand that postseason basketball is completely different than regular season basketball? Could they beat the Rockets in the playoffs? They probably can. I'm not gonna sit there and act like they can't. They probably can. Will they? That's a hard conversation to have. I don't know if they can. A lot of people, like I said, people are gonna sit here and say, "Yes, they can. They can easily beat the Rockets in the playoffs." Again, you're looking at regular season, not taking into consideration that postseason play is different than regular season play. Regular season play, we're not preparing for you every fucking night. Yes, the Rockets had a 2 game situation with the Lakers. One is But compared to what the Rockets are going to be in the playoffs, compared to the Lakers in the playoffs, it's two different worlds, two different teams. So great for the Lakers that they beat them twice. But again, like I said, they had no Şengün. They had no Şengün, and they had to figure it out. Do I expect the Lakers to be defensively sound to handle what the Rockets can bring in the playoffs? I don't. I think, like I said, Şengün not being there to be the offensive rebounder that he is, and that guy, that presence in the paint, that's a completely different world for the Lakers. You don't have that still. Even if you get out that first round, the Spurs could be the second team, the next team you play. If you got to play the Spurs in the second round, good fucking luck, because I know damn well you don't have anybody to stop Victor Wembanyama. You better hope and pray whoever gets the 7th seed stuns the shit out the Spurs. Like, absolutely stun the shit out the Spurs. Like the Clippers or somebody like that. They have the veteran presence to stop them. Because if the Spurs get to the second round and they got to play y'all, I don't think y'all have the physical ability to stop Victor Wembanyama. No one does. And that's the scariest shit. So great for the Lakers to have the 9-game winning streak that they had. And I know people sitting there saying, well, look at Luka. Luka's having a great year. Listen, bro. What Luka is doing is exactly what I expect Luka to do in the regular fucking season. Do that shit in the playoffs, and then we can have a different conversation. All y'all that sit here and praise this shit again, you're giving, again, like I said, look at the 9 games that you have played. You played against teams that don't have the offensive guard to go at Luka. They don't have the offensive guard to go at Luka. Bulls have Josh Giddey, and that's about fucking it. Miami doesn't have that offensive guard like that. They can go at Luka all game and have that energy. And then on top of that, turn around and then have to play him defensively. And I actually thought they would beat Detroit because they don't have Cade Cunningham. I thought they would actually keep this winning streak going. The fact that they lost was wow to me. But the same problems that have hurt the Lakers all season long is going to be there in the playoffs. And that's what people are not understanding. They didn't fix shit in a 9-game winning streak this late into the season. They didn't fix shit. They just gave y'all enough confidence as Lakers fans and the NBA media to sit there and tell everybody, oh, yeah, they're going to win the championship. But the same problems you saw throughout the whole fucking year is going to be there when the playoffs start. Because one thing that is 100% true, Luka still can't play fucking defense. Austin Reeves can't play fucking defense. They can't play fucking defense. Yeah, in a 9-game winning streak, you could just do enough to get by. To do that in a playoff series where these fucking guards are going to come at you every fucking game and they know that you have to stop them and they just got to keep you from getting on a hot streak shooting, you're fucked. And that's what people do not want to say. The Lakers are fucked when they get in the playoffs. I don't give a fuck about this 9-game winning streak. That's why I kept saying, like, yeah, you got a 9-game winning streak. What the fuck does that mean? Did you play the Spurs during that time period? No. Did you play the Thunder during that time period? No. Did you play the Boston Celtics? The Oakland? Did you play you played the Knicks, but the Knicks are just like you, a finesse team. The Knicks are ain't gonna be in the same fucking boat when the playoffs start. They don't have the defense. Jalen Brunson is not a great defender. He's not. He fucking sucks. He's not a great defender. Karl-Anthony Towns is not a great defender. They're not great defenders. So when you get in the playoffs, you're going to have a very hard time trying to stop shit. Because the team knows you can't stop me. And all I got to do is just be better than y'all in these types of games, these moments, these situations. And at the end of the day, I'm looking at the situation, I'm saying to myself, bro, if you're sitting there trying to still tell me that the Lakers are going to go in the playoffs and dominate, you are either a really true Lakers fan, that you're blind to your own loyalty. You're blind to your own loyalty. Or you just straight up are choosing not to acknowledge the fact that the Lakers still have fucking problems. And they're not fixing them bitches when they get in the playoffs. The same reason why you lost to Detroit is going to be the same reason why you're going to lose in the playoffs. And nobody wants to fucking say that. NFL. NFL. So I've been doing this series. What should they do? Today, it is the fifth overall pick in the draft, and that is the New York Giants. New York has had an interesting offseason. They basically turned the New York Giants into they literally turned the New York Giants into the New York Ravens. They basically re-signed everybody they could fucking get from the Ravens that were free agents and went to New York. Isaiah Likely, you got Washington, the safety, you got Record, the fullback. You basically went and got everybody from the goddamn Ravens. Those free agents, outside of maybe Tyler Lindenbaum, who signed with the Raiders, they all are in New York with, you know, John Harbaugh, which brings me to John Harbaugh getting the job. Uh, yeah, listen, man. How do I feel about the Giants this year? I have little to no faith in the Giants this year. I know it sounds insane to say that because, well, here's the thing. The reason why it sounds insane is because people are praising John Harbaugh for some shit he never really did. John Harbaugh had all of that immense talent, all of that defense, all of that offense, all Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry. He's had Steve Smith. He's had Anquan Bolden. He's had multiple fucking Pro Bowl defensive players like Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, uh, Terrell Suggs. He's had all of these defensive superstars. Patrick Queen, Roquan Smith, Nate Wiggins now. He's had Dominic Foxworth. He's had all these fucking corners. He's had safeties. He's had all these players. And he's won one Super Bowl in all of that time. See, people only want to talk about his latter years with Lamar Jackson so they can blame Lamar Jackson. Okay. But before he had Lamar Jackson, he had Joe Flacco. He had an offense. He had something. He had also a defense. And for a good stretch of his time, John Harbaugh never got as far to an AFC championship game outside of the year he got to the Super Bowl. His first year in 2008, he got to a AFC championship game. He lost to the Steelers. His first year in coaching, he got to an AFC championship game and he lost to the Steelers. And then for years, he never got back to an AFC championship game until that magical year where Ray Lewis' final year, they got finally to an AFC championship game. They won the Super Bowl that year. By the way, almost blew the fucking lead in the Super Bowl when they were blowing the 49ers the fuck out the Superdome. Almost lost the fucking game, but they won. And then for the next couple years, could never get back to at least the AFC divisional round. He couldn't even get out the AFC divisional round. To the point where they now sit there and say, maybe we need to get a new quarterback. Joe Flacco is just not it. They paid him all that money after the Super Bowl, and he could just never get back to that level of where he was that year in the Super Bowl. He could just never get back to it. To the point where they finally decided to let's draft a quarterback. And they draft Lamar Jackson. And then they draft Lamar Jackson, and his rookie year, he doesn't look great. They put him in mid-season just to spark the offense. They actually start winning games, get into the playoffs, win the division, get in the playoffs, and then lose in the wild card. Everybody blame Lamar Jackson for that shit. Oh, it's Lamar Jackson's fault. Oh, it's Lamar Jackson. Okay. Lamar Jackson comes back the next year, wins unanimous MVP, and gets them the number one seed in the playoffs. This is, by the way, Patrick Mahomes' era. And Lamar Jackson got them the number one seed in the playoffs. Now, yes, did they get their ass destroyed in that playoff game? Yeah. But I will never blame Lamar Jackson for a coach who's supposed to have you fucking ready to play. A coach who's supposed to have you fucking ready to play after you had a week off. So you could blame Lamar Jackson for that game. But John Harbaugh, who's supposed to be the veteran head coach, who's supposed to have the fucking team ready to play, just shit the fucking bed. Again, you can blame Lamar Jackson. I know, oh, it's Lamar, it's playoff Lamar. He just sucks. Okay. For a coach that's supposed to be in the play, who's been in the playoffs as much as John Harbaugh has been in the playoffs, y'all praise this motherfucker like he's won multiple Super Bowls. This motherfucker's won one Super Bowl. His playoff record is not fucking good at all. He's been to 3 AFC championship games in his entire coaching career. 3. His rookie year as a head coach, his Super Bowl year, and then a couple years ago with Lamar Jackson. So again, I get the praise that y'all try to throw at him, but he ain't Jim. See, John is different. Jim Harbaugh, now we're talking about Jim Harbaugh. Jim is different. I give Jim Harbaugh a little bit more of a, Jim got something. Jim has gone to different organizations, different programs, Michigan, Stanford, San Diego, and he's turned them the fuck around. He went to San Francisco when they were completely on a fucking decline for a good stretch of years and turned them back into the San Francisco 49ers. The San Francisco 49ers we see today, it all was from what Jim Harbaugh did. Turned Michigan back into a powerhouse. Won them a national championship. Now Michigan's back into some weird shit. Kind of like in the middle world. They don't know what they're going to do. I'm looking to see what Michigan's going to do with their new head coach this year. And Bryce Underwood in his second year. He's got to figure out that offensive line to keep Justin Herbert upright. But if we talk about Jim Harbaugh, okay, I give him a little bit more leeway. John Harbaugh hasn't done shit. And we keep praising him like he's done magical work. He's done nothing. He's done absolutely fucking nothing. You got literally gifted. You got gifted a defense in 2008 with Ray Lewis, Terrell Suggs, Ed Reed. You got gifted a defense in 2008, a rookie quarterback in Joe Flacco, a pretty decent offensive line that year, and you just couldn't beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, who had owned y'all in the regular season. Mike Tomlin was just better than you at that time as a coach than you were. That's okay. Shit happens. You don't get back to an AFC championship game until Ray Lewis' final fucking year. And let's be real, that was a magical fucking year. There was some unexplainable moments that year that nobody could even explain to me. Like the playoff game. There were times when in that Denver game, Jacoby Jones, rest in peace, man. Jacoby Jones, rest in peace to New Orleans' very own. The fact that man caught the fucking, it was returning them bitches back, catching punt returns and kick returns and running them motherfuckers back to the end zone. You just sitting there. That was some unexplainable shit. Torrey Smith burning the entire Denver Broncos secondary at one point. You just like, what the fuck is going on? You finally going into New England and beating Tom Brady and Bill Belichick? That never, with Lee Evans catching the game-winning touch. What the fuck? There were some unexplainable moments in that season for the Baltimore Ravens, especially in that postseason. That postseason was unexplainable. It was just moments. Great for you because you got gifted a lot of shit that year. But then for the next couple of years, you never got back to that status until you got Lamar Jackson. And yes, people blame Lamar. Lamar's had a very bad start to his playoff career. It is what it is. But the way people praise John Harbaugh, like the Giants got a gift, like the Giants got this unbelievable head coach, I'm like, motherfucker, what did y'all see? For most of his career, he's either missed the fucking playoffs or when he got in the playoffs, they never fucking showed up. The offense didn't show up. The defense was just out of it. The fuck are you talking about? The reason why they went to go get Lamar Jackson because they missed the playoffs for like 2, 3 years. Do y'all forget that shit? In a down AFC North, this is pre Joe Burrow. Big Ben, the Pittsburgh Steelers were killing it with the triple Bs. You know, Big Ben, Le'Veon Bell, and Antonio Brown. And the Browns were actually good. The Browns actually had something. You were in that conversation with these fucking teams, and you couldn't even get out of the first fucking. Bro, the way the Giants are talking about, the way NFL media talks about this shit is like they got a gift. They got the greatest coach on the planet. They won for it. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? The way that they went and go get everybody that the Ravens couldn't re-sign. It's like, bro, Isaiah Likely was your tight end for a couple of years. You never used him like that guy. Yeah, the Ravens have every right to. The Ravens fucked up by not re-signing him and giving Mark Andrews a contract. 100, 100%. But the way y'all had Isaiah Likely for the last couple of years and you never fucking used him, what the fuck makes me think you're gonna use him in New York? What makes me think you're gonna use him in New York? Oh well, Brandon, he had him. Yes, you saying that shit like he used him. The way people are talking about the Giants is like these motherfuckers are gonna win like the Super Bowl this year. No, they're not. They're not gonna win the Super Bowl this year. Your offensive line is still a little shaky. I get that you re-signed Jeremiah Lenore, but that interior still is not great. Outside of Malik Neighbors, you still have no number one. You have no number two receiver, no slot. Cam Scatterbo is coming off of an injury in some of the worst press I've seen in a very long time. Jackson Dart is still injury fucking prone. And that defense still has no secondary. Outside of McFadden, your linebacker core is very, very limited. You have a really good front four, but that's about it. So I ask the question again: what the fuck did the Giants do? The way people talk, like the Giants just won off season. The Giants are going to win the Super Bowl. I'm looking at the Giants. I'm like, on paper, you can sell this shit like you want to sell it. You went and got a fullback. You paid a fullback, a great fullback. Don't get it. Patrick Ricard is a really great fullback. Don't get it twisted. But you paid a fullback because you just wanted to keep him from your old team. It's not because you think you're going to use him. It's not because you want to use him. Not because you think he's going to advance the offense. No, you paid him just to keep him away from your old team. Jackson Dart. People don't want to say this, but it is true. This is a make or break year for Jackson Dart. It sounds so fucking insane that I'm saying that. This is a make or break year for Jackson Dart, but it is a make or break year for Jackson Dart. And the reason why I say it's a make or break year for Jackson Dart is because Jackson Dart has has to stay healthy. If this team wants any opportunity to succeed, he has to stay healthy. The one knock on John Harbaugh, especially for the last couple of years with Lamar Jackson, is yes, Lamar Jackson gets hurt. That's one thing. But it's what the offense looks like after he gets hurt. And that is where the fuck the problem lies. Injury concerns, takes too many crazy ass hits. He gets concussed a little too fast. If he gets hurt this year, the Giants offense won't be able to succeed with him hurt. And that puts John Harbaugh in a worse situation. This is why right now I'm saying to myself, Jackson Dart isn't a make or break here. And it sounds insane that I'm saying that. That Jackson Dart isn't a make or break here, but he isn't a make or break here. Because that offense cannot sustain him having these moments where he's just not there. You have to be fucking healthy and you have to be there. And that is why I feel like a lot of people will sit here and say the Giants are going to win. It's like, bro, first of all, can you keep him upright? Can you keep him upright? And that's the thing. You welcome back Malik Neighbors. I'm sorry, Malik Neighbors is coming back. I don't know how much he wants to be there, but like Malik Neighbors is coming back. I'm looking to see forward to see how the Malik Neighbors is gonna look with this offense. But more importantly, man, what should the Giants do with the fifth overall pick? Should you go defense? Should you give Jackson Dart another weapon? Should you actually fix that offensive line up a little bit? What should you do with this pick? And for me, I already picked it on me and my brother Juan's show, Jack's Wild Sports Show. It's on his Facebook page. Go look at it right now. Uh, it's out right now. I picked Caleb Downs for the New York Giants. I picked Caleb Downs, the safety from Ohio State. I feel like Caleb Downs fits this team exactly the way you need to. You need your Kyle Hamilton. Like I told my brother Juan when we did this, Kyle Hamilton is an elite safety. He could come down in the box. He can handle the tight ends or the fast running back. He can handle that. You saw it last year with Baltimore when they started to actually defensively turn it around. It was because Kyle Hamilton was handling the business that needed to be handled. Caleb Downs has that same energy where you put him in the box, you can move him around, you can have him sit, you can have him wait for something to come over the top, he go get it. He has that ability. If I was the Giants, and if he's still on the board at 5, which I think he will be, I would take Caleb Downs. There is no questions about this shit. I know somebody's gonna be like, "Well, take Jeremiah Love." No, why would you take Jeremiah Love? You already got Cam Scatterboo. No matter how much he is a power back and he wants contact and he got injured because of that. I think Cam Scatterboo before he got hurt was a great example of what the Giants offense can be. You just need to get the right situation around him. But I feel like Caleb Downs is the perfect person to fit the Giants because they fucking need it. Now, if you are going to maybe think of something else, then yeah, maybe you should think about going get the corner, the wide receiver from Ohio State, Cornell Tate. If you really want just splash, then yeah, you go get Cornell Tate from the Ohio State Buckeyes. But if me personally, I would personally go get Caleb Downs and be fucking satisfied with that. That is it. Talk to you guys next week. More I Believe Sports. Browns are next on what should they do? Talk about the NBA getting closer to the NBA Finals. Of course, the Final Four will be here next week, around the time next week. Next Saturday will be the Final Four. Not just the men, the women as well. So I'll talk about that. Boxing, of course. Uh, Basketball, like I said, the playoffs are around the corner. Baseball will be fully in swing. I think hockey also will be getting close to the playoffs. So that's about to get really interesting. So yeah, I believe sports will be back next week. Until next time, I am Brandon Janeau. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy your weekend. Peace.